Wednesday morning. We have a dangerous situation unfolding for our Easter Sunday. So let's break it down for you here. What you're looking at is our TORCON map, or Tornado Condition Index. So this is what we're looking at. Where you see this 7, this is one of the highest that will issue, stretching across a good portion of the south, the lower Mississippi Valley, across a huge chunk of Mississippi and Alabama, and into western Georgia with that 7 of the TORCON. Even the 5 and the 3s, you really have to keep your eye on the risk for those tornadoes as we head through pretty much the entire day today. For some places, you're going to have rounds of these storms, and we've got plentiful ingredients in place to get that severe weather going. Shear, that turning of the winds as you head up in the atmosphere, that is one of the key ingredients to get those rotating storms. We've got plenty of moisture. Paul was just talking about that with the dew points, but then we also have lift and instability to work with. So here's that shear that I was talking about, and this becomes a big player in the severe weather aspect of today. So what you're looking at here is a representation of the surface level winds. Look at all those winds coming off that moist, warm water of the Gulf of Mexico, just transporting all of that moisture in ahead of this system. Let's go up in the atmosphere a little bit, about 5,000 feet, and you'll notice, especially as we look off to the west over Texas, we've got these winds coming in out of a more west-southwesterly direction, and then even over the Gulf, southwesterly. And that means you are going to have that rotation action going on with those storms. So let's time it out for you. This initial pulse of energy, this initial wave, going to move through, entering into Memphis and places like Nashville as we head into the early afternoon. But there are going to be several waves of storms. So then we'll have those storms developing ahead of that frontal boundary, ahead of that cold front, and blasting through. You'll notice a lot of these storms blasting through the south during the nighttime hours. So that is why you definitely want to have a way to make sure you're getting those emergency alerts over Monroe, Louisiana. But you guys are not alone, man. This is what we're dealing with across the south. And I can't stress this enough. We are going to have multiple waves of very active weather for a lot of places across the south. So for some of you, this is just the beginning. You want to make sure that you are keeping up with what's going on. So this first pulse of energy ejecting out of portions of eastern Texas, making its way into Arkansas. Look at all of that lightning. Now, lightning does not specify a severe storm, but that's certainly something you don't want to be out in. We do have this tornado watch ongoing from around that I-45 corridor, stretching northeast into Shreveport. You're included in that. That's until lunchtime local time there. That's because we do have the atmosphere prime to get some tornadoes going, and we already do. So tornado watch means that the conditions are right to have tornadoes. A tornado warning means that we are picking up information that means a tornado could be ongoing, and that's what we have right now in Cherokee, Rusk, and Smith counties there in Texas. This particular storm moving off to the northeast 30 to 40 miles per hour with quarter-sized hail. And then we also have, you can see here, this is one thing we look at in the radar to try to pick up, where you have those reds and those greens kind of swirling together. That's what we call kind of the mixing of the velocity. That shows rotation, and that shows that at a minimum we have some supercell rotation going on. But with this particular storm, they're thinking we need to do that with a tornado warning. So certainly something they're keeping an eye on. All of these storms kind of pushing off to the northeast. You can see this line of storms, not just tornado warnings associated with it, but we also have some severe thunderstorm warnings that could produce some of those damaging straight line winds. So multiple threats associated with this. This is what I want to show you. Man, this is what we're working with. When you have this much moisture in the atmosphere, it does not take a lot to get those storms going, but we do have a lot. We have several different elements that are going to come together and bring this severe weather threat along throughout the day and into tonight. So, Paul, tons of people